If AI feels powerful one moment and useless the next, there's a reason. I'm Mark Donegan, and this episode breaks down why most founders leave real value on the table and how better prompts turn AI into a thinking partner. In fact, I've watched this shift change how teams write, plan, and execute. Now let's jump into the discussion.
Tune in, listen up, it's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, growing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
So Mark, you know how we're always telling founders to just figure out AI, right? Like just go use ChatGPT, it'll change everything. But I'm starting to wonder if we've been giving them the wrong advice entirely.
Oh, interesting. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's not about whether to use AI anymore. That ship has sailed. It's about how you're talking to it, the prompts themselves. I came across this vault of AI prompts, and honestly, it made me realize most founders are leaving like 90% of the value on the table.
Yes. Oh man, Tim, you're hitting on something I've been borderline obsessed with lately, because the gap between a mediocre prompt and a great prompt isn't just about getting slightly better output. It's the difference between AI being a gimmick and AI being your unfair advantage.
So break that down for me. What separates the two?
Okay, so the first thing founders need to understand is what I call the specificity principle. And this is going to sound obvious, but I promise you, almost nobody does it. The more context you give the AI, the more it can actually help you. I once heard of a company that was using ChatGPT for their email marketing, and they were getting these bland, generic responses. Just terrible stuff.
Right, the kind of thing that sounds like it was written by a robot.
Exactly. And when I looked at their prompts, they were saying things like, write me a marketing email. That's it. That's the whole prompt.
Oh no.
I know. So here's what changed everything for them. Instead of that vague request, they started including their target audience, the specific pain point they were addressing, the tone of voice they wanted, and even examples of emails they admired. Suddenly, the AI understood the assignment.
So it's almost like you're treating the AI as a new team member who needs proper onboarding.
That's exactly it. You wouldn't hire a copywriter and just say, write me something good. You'd give them a brief. You'd tell them about your customers. You'd share your brand guidelines. The AI needs the same thing.
Okay, so that's the foundation. But I'm curious about something more tactical here. On the Marketing Execution Podcast, we're always trying to give people stuff they can use today. What are the actual prompt structures that work?
All right, so there are a few frameworks that I've seen work incredibly well. The first one is what I call the role assignment method. You literally tell the AI who to be before asking it to do anything.
Like an actor getting into character?
Yes. So instead of just asking for feedback on your landing page, you say something like, you are a conversion rate optimization expert who has analyzed thousands of SaaS landing pages. Now review my page and identify the 3 biggest conversion killers. See the difference?
That's so much more specific. You're basically giving it expertise.
Right? And the AI will actually respond differently. It'll use terminology that an expert will use. It'll think about problems the way an expert would think about them. It's honestly kind of wild how well it works.
What about for content creation, though? Because I feel like that's where most founders are using AI, and also where they're getting the most generic results.
Oh, this is where it gets really fun. So there's this technique where you feed the AI examples of your own writing first. You say something like, analyze the following 3 blog posts I've written and identify my unique voice, tone, and style patterns. Then you paste in your content, and then you ask it to write something new in that same style.
Wait, so you're essentially training it on you?
In a way, yeah. It's not true training, but the AI can pick up on patterns, your sentence length, your favorite phrases, whether you use humor or stay serious. And then it mimics that in the new content. I saw a recent report that said founders who use this technique report that their AI content feels 60% more authentic.
60%. That's not nothing.
It's huge because the whole point is that your content should sound like you, not like a robot, not like everyone else's AI content.
Okay, I have to ask about the elephant in the room though. What about when AI just gets it wrong? Like confidently wrong?
Yeah, the hallucination problem. Look, this is real, and founders need to understand it. AI will sometimes make up statistics, invent quotes, create fake case studies. It does this with complete confidence, which makes it dangerous.
So how do you guard against that?
Two things. First, you build verification into your workflow. You don't publish anything the AI creates without checking the facts yourself. Period. Second, and this is the sneaky one, you can actually prompt the AI to be more honest. You tell it things like, if you're not certain about something, say so. Or only include statistics you can cite with a source.
Does that actually work?
It helps. It's not perfect, but it significantly reduces the confident nonsense. The AI will start saying things like, I believe this is accurate, but you should verify, which is way better than just making stuff up.
That's fascinating. Let's pivot for a second though, because I want to talk about what this means for a founder who's strapped for time and maybe doesn't have the bandwidth to become a prompt engineering expert.
You know, that's actually the most important question we could ask right now. Because the founders who are struggling most aren't lazy, they're just overwhelmed.
Uh-huh.
And I think we've accidentally created this narrative that you need to become some kind of prompt wizard to get value from AI. That's just not true.
So what is true then?
The real shift is about thinking of AI as a thinking partner, not just a tool. And that sounds like a small distinction, but it changes everything about how you approach it.
Okay, unpack that for me.
So most founders treat AI like a vending machine. They put in a request and they expect the finished product to come out. But smart founders treat it more like a conversation with a really smart colleague who happens to have read everything on the internet.
That's a pretty good colleague to have.
Right, but you wouldn't ask that colleague to write your entire marketing strategy in one go. You'd bounce ideas around, you'd ask follow-up questions, you'd say things like, wait, what about this angle instead?
So it's iterative.
Exactly. And this is where the time-strapped founder actually has an advantage, because you don't need to craft the perfect prompt up front. You just need to start a conversation and refine as you go.
That feels way more accessible, honestly.
It is. I know of a founder who was spending hours trying to write the perfect prompt for her product descriptions. Hours, Tim. And she was getting mediocre results because she was treating it like a one-shot deal.
What changed for her?
She started having a back and forth instead. She'd say something like, here's my product, here's who buys it, give me 3 different angles for describing it. Then she'd pick the one she liked most and say, okay, take that angle, but make it sound more casual. Then she'd tweak again. The whole thing took 15 minutes instead of 3 hours.
And the output was better?
Way better, because she was steering the conversation based on her own expertise. The AI doesn't know your customers like you do. It doesn't know your brand voice intuitively, but it can generate options fast, and you can shape those options into something that actually works.
This is making me think about something bigger though, like beyond the tactical stuff. What does this mean for how founders should be thinking about their relationship with AI going forward?
Okay, this is where I'm going to get a little philosophical on you. The founders who will thrive in the next 5 years aren't the ones who learn to use AI the best. They're the ones who learn to think alongside AI the best. There's a real difference there.
What do you mean by thinking alongside?
So right now, most people use AI to replace thinking. Write this for me. Analyze this for me. Decide this for me. But the magic happens when you use AI to extend your thinking, to go deeper than you could alone, to see angles you would have missed.
Can you give me an example of that in practice?
Sure. Let's say you're a founder trying to figure out your positioning. The replace thinking approach would be to ask AI to write your positioning statement. The extend thinking approach would be to have a conversation where you ask things like, what are the 3 most common positioning mistakes in my industry? Then you ask, which of those might apply to my current approach? Then you ask, how would a customer who's never heard of us describe what we do after visiting our website?
Oh, that's so different.
Right? Because now you're still doing the strategic thinking. The AI is just giving you better raw material to think with, and that's sustainable. That scales with you as a founder.
This feels like the real unlock, honestly. Not the prompts themselves, but this mind shift about what AI is actually for in your business.
That's it. You nailed it. The prompts are just the interface. The real skill is knowing what questions to ask and being willing to stay in the conversation long enough to get somewhere interesting.
Okay, so we've covered the why this matters piece pretty thoroughly, but I know our listeners are already thinking about Monday morning. They want to know exactly how to put this into practice without it becoming another thing on their already impossible to-do list.
Tim, let's get into how people can actually use this stuff starting Monday morning.
Yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Give me the playbook.
Okay, so I'm going to break this into 3 simple moves. And I mean simple, because if it's complicated, nobody's going to do it.
I'm ready.
Move 1. Start with a brain dump prompt. Before you ask AI to write anything, you tell it everything about your situation first. Your product, your customer, your voice, your constraints. Like giving it context before the actual request. Think of it like briefing a new employee on their first day. You wouldn't just say, write me an email and expect magic. You'd give them the background first.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So here's what this looks like in practice. You say something like, I run a SaaS company that helps e-commerce brands reduce cart abandonment. Our customers are marketing directors at mid-sized retailers. Our tone is friendly but professional. Now, with that context, help me brainstorm 5 email subject lines for our new feature launch.
Oh, so the AI knows who it's talking to before it starts creating.
Right. And once you've done that brain dump, you can reference it in future conversations. You build on it. You don't start from scratch every time.
Okay, what's move 2?
Move 2 is what I call the options game. Never ask for one thing. Always ask for 3 to 5 options.
Why 3 to 5 specifically?
Because it shifts your role from creator to editor, and editing is way faster than creating from nothing. Notion does this internally, by the way. Their content team asks AI for multiple headline variations. Then they pick and refine. It cut their brainstorming time in half.
I love that. So you're not waiting for the perfect answer. You're generating raw material to work with.
Exactly. And here's a pro tip. After you get your options, ask AI to combine the best elements of option 2 and option 4. Now you're directing the creative process instead of just accepting whatever comes out.
That's so good. Okay, what's move 3?
Move 3 is the refinement loop. This is where most founders stop too early. They get a decent output and they're like, good enough. But the magic is in the follow-up questions. Let's say AI gives you a product description. Instead of just using it, you say, make this sound more conversational. Or you say, this is good, but it's missing the urgency. Add a line about the limited time offer. Or even shorten this by 30% without losing the main benefit.
So you're sculpting it.
That's the perfect word. You're sculpting. And each refinement takes like 10 seconds. But those 10 seconds turn a B- output into an A.
I want to talk about a real company that's doing this well. Who comes to mind?
Zapier is a great example. They've been super public about their AI content workflow. They use AI to generate first drafts of their help documentation. But then their team goes through and adds the specific examples, the edge cases, the stuff that only comes from knowing the product deeply.
So AI handles the structure and the team adds the soul.
I'm stealing that phrase, Tim. That's exactly it. AI handles the structure, humans add the soul. And that division of labor is what makes it sustainable.
What about founders who are worried about everything sounding the same? Like if everyone's using AI, won't all the content blur together?
Great question. And the answer is only if you're lazy about it. The founders who stand out are the ones who feed AI their unique perspective first. Your hot takes, your customer stories, your specific way of explaining things.
So the differentiation comes from the input, not the output.
100%. Gong does this really well. They feed their AI tools with actual sales call transcripts from their platform. So the content that comes out has real customer language baked in. It doesn't sound generic because it's built on proprietary data.
That's smart. Use your own unique assets as the foundation.
And every founder has unique assets. You have customer conversations, you have support tickets, you have your own experience. Feed that stuff to AI and suddenly your content sounds like you, not like everyone else.
Okay, Mark, we've covered a ton of ground today, from the mindset shift to these 3 practical moves. Can you pull it all together for our listeners? What's the summary they should walk away with?
All right, let me bring this all together. We started by talking about the specificity principle, the idea that vague prompts give you vague results. You need to treat AI like a new team member who deserves a proper brief. Then we talked about the mindset shift. AI is not a vending machine. It is a thinking partner. And finally, we gave you 3 moves you can use, like starting with a brain dump so AI knows your context, asking for multiple options so you become an editor instead of a creator, and using the refinement loop to sculpt your output from good to great. The through line here is that AI handles the structure, and you add the soul.
Okay, Mark, after everything we just covered, if someone only remembers one thing from this entire conversation, what do you hope it is?
Honestly, I hope people remember that AI does not replace your thinking. It extends it. The founders who treat AI like a shortcut will get shortcut results. But the founders who bring their own perspective, their own customer knowledge, their own unique point of view, they will build something that no one else can copy. Your competitive advantage was never going to be the tool itself. It was always going to be you. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.